All right, here's what I'm going to do for you, okay? The Doug Gottlieb Show coming to you live and direct from the City of Angels. Here's what I want to do is I want to play for you what Blake Snell had to say and why, frankly, I don't think he should have apologized. Do I agree with what Blake Snell said? No, don't agree. But does that mean he has to apologize? Or does that mean, no, also not actually even close to the way it works? Look, Blake Snell, pitcher, Tampa Bay Rays, correct? Kidding. Just saying. I made the easy joke, the low-hanging fruit joke yesterday about Florida sports, especially Florida baseball. They've been practicing social distancing forever. Right? I mean, Marlins Park, I have never seen two people sit within 6 feet of each other. Plenty of good seats available. This is what Blake Snell posted on social media.
If I'm going to play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. I should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half, on top of a 33% cut of the half that's already there. On top of that, it's getting taxed. So imagine how much I'm actually making to play. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, so all that money's gone. And now I play risking my life. And if I get the Rona, on top of that, if I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? Oh yeah, that's in my body forever. That damage is not going to be like the damage that was done to my body. That's going to be there forever.
All right, here's the big mistake that he makes is talking about money, and there's a massive disconnect there. Okay, and I don't blame Blake Snell because he's only been a professional athlete. This idea that a professional baseball player is like, look, I signed a contract, I should get buddy, we're in a pandemic. 36 million people are out of work. Those are Great Depression era numbers. And it has happened like that. So I know you live in the athlete bubble. Look, I live in a sports world bubble. I understand that. And I've been very blessed in my life to not have had to be the traditional media guy and make, 20 grand working a local radio station and writing, a couple $100 to write a newspaper column, once a week. Like that's not my, I've lived a very blessed life. I started out with nothing. We got something, but I still had the perspective of I live a blessed life. Okay. This idea, the mistake that he made is like you said, hey man, wait, I already took a pay cut. Now there might be less and I'm getting taxed. Yo, what's up with that? Listen, it's a valid point. Here's the opposite side. Lots of people in the real world are either losing their job or getting furloughed. You're like, man, what's furloughed? You don't get paid. The good news is you get to stay on insurance while you're not getting paid, and you don't have to work, but you can't actually go anywhere. And a lot of us who are working are taking voluntary pay cuts. I saw one of our competitors where they announced that they're taking voluntary pay cuts. I actually know how that works. There is nothing voluntary about the pay cut. Oh, you know what? Here's 25% back more of the money that I had planned on making. That ain't the way it works. But look, we all get it. It sucks. Okay? But what level of suck is it, right? Because at the end of the day, you're still a professional baseball player. You're still going to be able to, at some point, your wages will go back to the normal level. The rest of us are going to be left picking up the shrapnel of all right, what's the new world look like? Does my job still exist? And look, at some point you need to play games again. And I'm sorry, but we can't pay the same amount if we can't put people in the stands. Which, by the way, goes into direct conflict with the other part of his statement, which is you get the Rona. I got the Rona for life. Okay, so here's the decision. Look, we all make decisions. And then you have to own them. Decision one is don't play. My safety is paramount, which you're allowed to. I would disagree with it, and I would tell you the numbers tell you that you're going to be fine. Okay? Numbers tell you that you're going to be fine. At his age, in his physical condition, with his insurance, the likelihood that he either even gets the Rona, let alone is symptomatic, and that it affects him more so than a bad version of the flu. You're talking about the smallest infinitesimal percentage. But you don't play, that's okay. But you know what you can't do if you don't play? You can't expect to get paid for services not rendered. Now, if your complaint is over the level of compensation, that's fair. Okay? But you also have to take into account that, hey, dude, we've missed half the season. We can't pay you for a season that hasn't been played. We can't pay you for a season that doesn't have fans. We might not even be able to pay you for a season that has broadcast games and could have sky-high TV numbers. But here's the crazy thing about the TV numbers. There's not the advertising dollars to correlate with those TV numbers because advertisers don't have that much money. Because all of the basic advertisers are like, look, we'd love to spend on advertising. People are watching TV. But outside of, food and beverage and pickup stuff, outside of Taco Bell and Chipotle and, other stuff that you can order in the mail, we don't have money. We're trying to save money. And instead of firing people, we cut our marketing budget. So, but here's the bigger part. Does he contradict himself? Yes. Does he sound a little bit spoiled? Sure. But I think all of that is reasonable. I think all of these things are reasonable. Quarantine makes some people freak out, right? Like you're a workout guy like I am and you can't work out. You just, like even my kids, and I'm the fun dad. I'm the fun parent. And even my kids are like, kind of worn out by you. Like that, these things happen. But the lack of understanding for where the world is in terms of financial stuff, bro. I don't know if you've looked around, but taking a pay cut is not the worst thing in the world in comparison to what 36 million people are going through. Right? That's like. That's not the best. The best of a bad scenario is they're like, hey, don't tell anybody, but you can keep all your money, right? That's the best. Second best scenario is, look, we're still going to pay you even if we don't play, right? But we're just not going to pay you as much. That's a good scenario. Worst scenarios are we're going to furlough you, which means you can't go work for somebody else. We still kind of own you, but we'll give you insurance. Yeah, and hopefully we can get your job back. Worst is like, goodbye. Hey, sorry. You can go on Cobra. You can pay for your own insurance out of your own pocket and collect unemployment. So, but again, we just have to understand that, like, all right, Blake Snell, like, he's not the worst person in the world. I don't think he has to apologize. That's how he felt at the time. And the big thing is none of these comments. This is what runs counter to, I know Lebitard got all huffy because I said it's an idiotic comment of Doug Williams saying that if Deshaun Watson was white, he would have gone higher in the draft, would have gone above Trubisky, like race had something to do with it. See, that to me, you're basically calling Ryan Pace a racist. Okay, those types of comments, which are kind of defamatory, and you can't really protect. There's no real fighting back. Like all Ryan Pace can say is, "I'm not a racist. I didn't pick," but it doesn't matter. Damage is done by Doug Williams, who's still around in the NFL, was a quarterback in the NFL, is in the front office of the Washington Redskins. And once you kind of label somebody a racist, that's a really hard thing to escape. Whereas Blake Snell is not labeling anybody anything. He's just complaining and bitching that he's lost some money, but he still has his job, and he's not sure he wants to play with the Rona. Right? Do we understand kind of the difference and why I'm cool with it? And I'm not cool with basically calling people racist. That I don't think there's any way of either proving or actually is any racism in a decision to draft Mitchell Trubisky, which I disagreed with at the time, but was made based upon their analysis. By the way, that's the crazy thing about the Trubisky thing. I have never defended the pick. I've never liked him more than Deshaun Watson. Never liked him more than Pat Mahomes. Thought both of them were better. Lots of people were surprised by it. Lots of people. Didn't then, don't now. Don't think he's better, didn't then. But they had their reasons, and they picked their quarterback because of those reasons. But Blake Snell, it's like, dude, just the healthy. First of all, I love when athletes will do this. Man, don't talk about my money. Well, then, okay, if you talk about your money, now we can talk about it and expose the fact that as a really, really just, do you want a bigger disconnect? Do you want a bigger disconnect than telling people, I can't believe I'm getting paid less for a job that I'm not actually doing? You know, dude, like, listen, we got people at our jobs that are told, hey, you can't come to work for a couple of weeks. Pick the weeks you're going to take off, and we're not going to pay you. Like, no, I want to go to work. No, you can't come to work because we just, like, it's bad. I just pull your head out of the backside and look around. Just having a job. Having a job is a good thing. Getting paid, even if it's a little bit less or substantially less than you were going to get paid, but still getting paid for a job you're not actually doing. Then I got to pay taxes on it. That's called being a citizen. That's called, do you like the roads? Do you like the cops? Do you like the fact that when people have lost their jobs, they're able to collect, whether it's, unemployment or welfare or PPP or whatever? Guess where that money comes from? So it may not be working great right now, but it's worked for like over 200 years, this sort of system, and we adjust and we evolve. Please don't be that guy who's so obtuse to what's going on in the rest of the world. But again, don't have to apologize, just should kind of take a breath and realize he's in a much better place than most people.